What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Tika Deshawn, right here at All Things Ruthless, home of the Ruthless Addicts. Here to give you guys a recap of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, Season 5, Episode 13, entitled, I'm a Soldier. The highest delivers a shocking proposition to Ruth. George and Lewis concoct a plan to escape, and River tries to outsmart a vengeful Obadiah. Before we get started, before we continue, you guys, make sure you hit that like, that share, and that subscribe button, okay? All right, y'all, let's dive into it. When the episode opens up, we see where Obadiah is not playing. He is literally beating the brakes off of River, aka River Daikon. He is kicking him in his ribs. He is basically hurting him to try to take him out. And River is yelling, help, 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 somebody help. Literally, the only two people that will come to his rescue are going to prove to be very useless. But Glitch as well as Heat come to the rescue of River. But then also Peter rolls up and he's asking, what is going on? What is going on? And Obadiah pretends and says, nothing. River's just yelling out some crazy stuff. He's just talking crazy. Literally, after he just beat the brakes off this man, he's pretending as if he has not put his hands on the Daikon, y'all. There's also going to be a moment where he, as well as Glitch, recognizes Obadiah, specifically Glitch. He recognizes Obadiah. He says, hey, I know you. I know you. I know you because you know my brother. And he's on to him. But this is how Obadiah knew that they were on the compound, because he recognized them. So then we also get a moment where Mariah is on the news and she is telling it like it is, y'all. She's telling them about what Lacey did to herself. And Hayes is not happy about her report. He is hearing all of what she is saying. At first it seemed to be peaceful because there were children there. But then it became creepy. And the highest is yelling, I'm not creepy, literally spazzing out. Then we're going to see Ruth, y'all. And I think at this moment, this is just my first thought, that Ruth is about to lose this baby, because she steps out of this shower and she is literally bleeding. Blood is literally draining down her leg. And Zane asks her, is she okay? She says it's just an infection. So then we're going to see where this new soldier, Eli, is at the door of the highest. And then Andrew walks up and they both hear him. He's literally in there spazzing out. Andrew tells Eli to go and get Ruth as well as River. So then we see where Glitch as well as Heat have made their way to the gate. They're basically surveying the compound, trying to figure out where they need to search next. And of course, Manny overhears the conversation, but Eli runs to go and get Ruth. And Ruth is in so much pain right now. She is agitated and she really has no choice, because just like she said, she can't get any rest every time somebody's coming for her, and that's what she's doing. So we see that this bloody towel that comes from underneath Ruth's gown is soaked. It's literally getting filled up more and more. This is the same towel she had on when she came from the shower, y'all. And all I can say, y'all, is Ruth is losing this baby. But then we go and we see Ruth and she's talking to Elder Mother, telling Elder Mother, hey, you need to give the highest something. Can't we get him some medicine? I don't care if it's some street pharmaceuticals. We need to get him something. And finally, Elder Mother comes to the conclusion, hey, I got this saffron that we can use. It's good for depression. Meanwhile, Desiree and Cal are listening to Mariah as she reports on the situation with the highest. And then we see the highest. He is literally spazzing out. Once again, he is on a rampage. He is knocking down candles. He is super upset that she has called him creepy. And he is so upset that basically she is calling him crazy. So Desiree receives a call from the chief. And I don't know what this chief is telling her to do. I don't know if the chief is saying shut it down or shut it down. You know what I mean? Stop her operations or stop the compound. I don't know, but we'll get into it a little bit later. We're going to see where Andrew is standing guard at the highest's trailer with Eli, this new soldier. Eli? Yeah, his name is Eli, y'all. I think I heard the name Eli before, but this is who we got. So then Ruth pulls up and she tells Andrew, bruh, you saying you're FBI, because he acknowledges I was FBI. But she's saying you were FBI and you literally let all this stuff go. You let them take out your girl, Tally, you the one you say you love. So anyway, he tells her to go into the cabin or go into the trailer, talk to the highest, calm him down. You're going to have to calm him down, and you're basically the only one that can do it. So she does just that. She tells the highest, we need to get you out of these clothes. We need to get you a bath. And he's like, I don't want to, like a little child. And then she yells at him to take off his clothes. And so he's like, are you yelling at me? And she says, take off your clothes, so you can take a bath. And he literally complies. Again, y'all, this is a suggestion by Andrew for Ruth to go in there to try to calm him. He says that because he was an FBI agent, he knows that when a person is in mental health crisis, you have to talk soft to them. You have to talk calm to them. You have to, be peace, or be take your time with them. And so that's literally what Ruth, she went in there and she did. Keep in mind, she has her own situation going on, but she still took the time to go in there and check on the highest. So then we're going to see where Glitch as well as Heat are standing outside of the highest's trailer, because again, they're surveilling the area to figure out how they can get to the highest, but they see that the highest is under security, strict security 24/7, y'all. So then we see the finesse twins, as my girl EJ calls them, Lewis as well as George. And George is in there straight crying, y'all. George is like, I just can't take it anymore. It hurts when I stand, when I breathe. It hurts. I can't take it. So then we're going to see a moment where River Daikon is literally bruised and battered because of all of everything that Obadiah did to him. And we got Eli that goes into the trailer to talk to him. And he's saying, that they want to see you. Then River's like, no, I can't go see the highest tonight. Tell them you can find me. And then he says, if you disobey me, you'll end up going to the punishment trailer. River is jacked up, y'all, worse than what the highest has ever done. And then we're going to see the very next morning where the highest wakes up. He has his hand on Ruth's belly and he seems super, super calm, y'all. So I guess that saffron meal that Elder Mother made for him, I guess it worked. I guess it calmed down the depression that he was dealing with and the anxiety and everything else, because he has a revelation that he and Ruth should get married. And yes, y'all, they gonna have a wedding, or will they? So then we're gonna see where River is limping into the pavilion and Joan is saying, are you mimicking me? But they're just, he's actually truly hurt, and he's hurt by that man right there, Obadiah. He's hurt by the hands of Obadiah. So then we hear the highest comes into the pavilion. This is the first time I ever seen him actually walk into the pavilion on his own, but he announces that he is going to take a wife, the Raku. He believes that the Raku has given him the word and the go ahead to marry, and Ruth is going to be his wife. Whole time Ruth is standing up there, she is crossing her legs. She is so uncomfortable. You can tell that Ruth is literally in so much pain, y'all, but she is doing her best to stand strong. But we find out that Sister Geraldine is going to marry the highest as well as Ruth to be one happy couple. Well, then we're going to see these two once again talking about what they're going to do, and they better find his brother and the money and the everything that they're supposed to be on the compound for. But then we see this whole crazy moment where Lewis tells George, we got to play on the sympathy string. We got to pull on the sympathy strings of someone. Maybe they'll feel sorry enough to come back. And they do this whole little, they have to pull on the sympathy strings of someone. And they play this whole little, I'm so hurt. And, George is begging, can you please get us some food? Like, he has this bad accent. Y'all got to make sure y'all come to the Ruthless conversation tonight so we dive more into that conversation, okay? But listen, then the ladies are standing there with Ruth, and Zane has already told Joan that the baby, that Ruth is bleeding, and Ruth insists on saying that it's an infection. And then Elder Mother walks up and tells Ruth, let's get ready for the nuptials. So then this new soldier, Eli, he says to River Daikon that I apologize for disobeying you. It won't happen again. I'll do any and everything to make it up to you. And Daikon/River tells him to come to his trailer later on tonight. Now, I don't know why, and Eli don't know why, but that's where he's supposed to be. So then we're going to see where Obadiah talks to River, and he says that you better fix the situation. The highest has taken my children away from me, so you better fix the situation. Then we have the nuptials, y'all. We see the highest. He is in all white, and he is draped with a white, I don't know what y'all call that. Drop in the comments if y'all know what that little piece that the highest has hanging around him that's draped around his suit is. But then we're going to see Ruth, y'all, and she is not looking good at all. She is walking into this pavilion. She is struggling. She is literally struggling, y'all. And then we see Ruth, and she passes out. And of course, everybody runs to her to see if she is okay. Even the highest drops to his knees to see if Ruth is okay, y'all. But then we see where someone says, "What's that?" And everybody is looking. The highest is looking, trying to see what's going on. Everybody is looking, y'all. And then when they pan into that particular image, we see where Ruth is bleeding. She has literally is bleeding. And then, of course, Obadiah adds fuel to the fire and says, if a woman is bleeding like this, then she is separated from her baby, which means that she is losing the baby that she's supposed to be pregnant with, y'all. What do y'all think? Has Ruth lost this baby? I definitely think Ruth has lost this baby. What are you guys' thoughts on this episode? Thank you. And drop in the comments. Let me know your thoughts, your reaction to everything that we have seen so far. Will River get away from Obadiah? Will Ruth lose this baby? Will the highest return to his crazy self after a couple of days because they only have enough supplies that's only going to help him for the next couple of days? I don't know, you guys, but this episode was absolutely crazy. I absolutely enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, okay? All right, y'all. Thank you for rocking with your girl, Tika Deshawn, right here at All Things Ruthless. And I'll see you guys later at the Ruthless Conversation tonight at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time at YouTube at All Things Ruthless and at EJ the TV Junkie, okay? All right, y'all. I'm out of here. Stay ruthless.